And this is a serious matter here. North Carolina is one of the few states that still allows that alienation of affection lawsuits.
I don't think we have ever covered a lawsuit like this one before.
A TikTok influencer ordered to pay $1.7 million for breaking up a Durham couple's marriage.
$1.75 million verdict that nearly ended with a fight outside the Durham County Courthouse. That was not the fight. That was the joy inside the courtroom.
But she'll probably never see it.
Miss Montague won $1.75 million. Is that man worth it? Is that woman worth it? They will think now.
Welcome to Management Highlights Daily. This story is perfect. Insane real-world proof that validates everything from the Coach Greg Adams versus Andrew Wilson debate. The manosphere might be decentralized. We might not agree on every solution, but we all have to agree on one undeniable fact. The state is the final boss. And this TikTok influencer just learned that the hard way. She thought it was a scandal. The court said it was a lawsuit.
Ain't that a man?
She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children.
All right, it was a case in civil court. Akira Montague, she accused, I should say, Brene Kennard of having an affair with her ex-husband, Tim. He was Kennard's manager, and now he's her husband. Montague claims that Kennard broke up their marriage, causing her mental anguish and depriving her kids of a two-parent household, and the jury agreed.
I was raised to respect the marriage. I was raised to respect God. So, loyalty, marriage, the White House with the picket fence and the dog and the kid, that's me.
Did you hear that? Raised to respect God. So let me get this straight. When her marriage covenant was broken, her first instinct wasn't prayer. It wasn't seeking counsel from her pastor. It wasn't forgiveness. It was to call a lawyer. She didn't take this to the church. She took it to a secular court because she knew the preacher couldn't get her a $1.75 million check. She respects God when it's convenient, but she trusts the state when it's profitable.
If I'm going to sue you, I don't want to sue someone that's making $10 an hour.
Right.
But if a person's bringing in, say, $30 million a year, or like these social media influencers that are bringing in millions, then yes, you now have an ability to pay if I get a judgment against you. So I think that portion's there that they have now the means.
North Carolina, I should say, is one of the only states that lets people do this sort of thing, to file lawsuits over this, where a jury will actually weigh in on your affair. Think about that. It's called alienation of affection. And to win one of these cases, you have to prove three things. One, that a loving, affectionate marriage existed.
Yeah, I was deeply in love with that man, that I would do anything for him. I made sure that I put him first, and I shouldn't have.
Two, that someone came in and knowingly wrecked it.
But then if you have things that are online, now you have a lot that the plaintiffs can go and find. Mm-hmm. Hey, I said that I didn't break up the marriage. Well, they pulled a video out that said that you knew that you wronged them. Mm-hmm. That was something that her attorney used in the case against the person, saying, well, you talked about not knowing that this was something that was going to affect their marriage. Mm-hmm. Well, wait, here's this video where you said the complete opposite. How do you reconcile those two? So they can use your words against you. So that social media, while it has allowed you to become profitable, sometimes it may hurt you.
And three, that you suffered as a result.
Akira becoming emotional, thinking of the impact this has on her kids.
It was horrible. Like, I can't, even right now, I don't like going out in public with my kids because I'll get stopped in the store. I can't have fun with my kids to this day because people harass me and them. So it's hard.
And there it is. The anchor admits it. You don't sue someone who makes $10 an hour. So ask yourself, how did the ex-wife know she could sue for alienation of affection? Simple. She saw a paycheck. She knew the influencer had money and she wanted a big piece of it. That's why her lawyer told her she had a case and she went ham. This proves why the what if fantasy is a joke. As long as these laws are on the books, marriage isn't a sacred covenant. It's a financial liability. You're not just risking a broken heart, you're risking a lawsuit from your own wife. And let's take it a step further. This isn't some universal justice.
And why is North Carolina one of the only places that still allows it? You know, how did we get here? We could take this all the way back to the Teutonic tribes in 105 BC, when a husband could kill a man for sleeping with his wife. But let's skip ahead, shall we, to 1745 and one of the first alienation of affection cases. Winsmore versus Greenbank in English Court of Common Pleas, if you couldn't tell. The husband claimed a man maliciously and wickedly persuaded, procured, and enticed his wife. The husband won. At the time, a wife was considered property, and losing that property entitled a husband to compensation. It wasn't until 1866 that one of these cases popped up in the United States. The wife cheated, the husband sued, and he won. But over the next 50 years, courts and lawmakers ruled wives were not property, and they had equal rights to their husbands. And if their husbands cheated, they could sue too. Suddenly, in the 1930s, lawmakers got worried about blackmail and extortion, saying alienation of affection didn't work anymore. In 1935, Indiana became the first state to ban it. Since then, 42 states have banned suing a spouse over infidelity. Even England, the place where it all started, banned it in 1970. But not in North Carolina. We're one of a handful of states that have kept it going to this day.
You see, this is why you can't cherry pick arguments. The legal landscape defines the game. When the laws changed, behavior in marriage changed. We don't live in the days when women were considered property. But somehow, North Carolina is still living in the past with this law. So let's ask the real question. Why is it still here?
It going to this day, and we've seen lots of high-profile cases as a result. In 1999, a wife sued her husband for sleeping with his secretary. The wife won, getting $500,000. And after the trial, the husband married the secretary. The story was turned into a Lifetime movie. It was called The Price of a Broken Heart. In 2011, a case out of Wake County ended with the defendant paying $30 million in damages. And in 2017, a case nearly spelled the end of alienation of affection, but the state Supreme Court ruled only the legislature could end that practice for good. And the legislature has tried and failed. Bills to ban alienation of affection in North Carolina have been coming up for decades. None have been successful. In fact, there's one in committee now. Who knows if it will get a vote? In the meantime, you can still sue and win if your spouse cheats.
And there's your answer. The final boss has spoken. Despite multiple attempts to change it, the law remains. Why? You heard it at the beginning of the clip. Millions of dollars flow through the court system because of this law.
North Carolina is not new to this. We've had large sums of awards in the past, $5.9 million, $9 million, and then the largest ever, $30 million against a trucking company owner. And so there have been large awards with this in the past.
Let's be even clearer. The ex-wife didn't sue the husband, the one who actually broke the vow. She sued the other woman. Why? Follow the money. The husband might not have had $1.75 million. The influencer did. This isn't about healing a broken heart. It's a targeted financial strike.
And it was nothing but lies.
Renee Montague, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
But the jury didn't agree, awarding Akira Montague the $1.75 million after more than 700 pieces of evidence were presented in court, including some of Brene's own TikToks and texts.
That says that my client was telling the truth.
Like her and adore her, that maybe she thinks that's what's going to happen. The one skill set that most people don't have and most lawyers don't have, and I'm still trying to figure it out, is voir dire, right? Jury selection, because you're talking about what's going on in the jury's mind. You don't know what the background of each of these jurors are. What if one of these jurors sympathizes with one side or the other? What if they were the spouse that was cheated on? Or what if they were the paramour that broke up another marriage? You really got to figure out who's deciding this case. That's a hard skill to learn, especially for a non-lawyer.
Let this be a lesson. Your fate isn't in your hands. It's in the hands of others. A judge, a jury, an attorney. And this influencer, she represented herself. This is what happens when you think millions of TikTok followers replace a law degree. It's pure arrogance.
The jury found that point, leaving Brene Montague with a hefty bill and no answer on how she'll pay.
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
But here's the cold, hard truth. The system doesn't care. The courts will stay full and cash will keep flowing as long as the laws allow it. They know exactly how this game is played. So learn from the past, prepare for the future, but live in the present. And in the present, with these laws fully intact, the message is clearer than ever. Don't get married.
Management, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.